Now, I wanted to create and share this diagram with you to hopefully reduce some of the nutrition confusion and misunderstanding about different diets. I'm showing you the top three here: ketogenic, Mediterranean, and whole foods plant-based diet. And I hope that this diagram, the goal is that you understand what they all share in common, because I think that's really what is missing in the standard American diet and the way that many people eat in America and other countries that have access to convenience, processed fast foods. So let's start with the ketogenic diet. So the ketogenic diet has some foods that are unique to that dietary style, which are like pork rinds, fried cheese, and excessive meat intake. And then specific or really common in keto dieters would be butter and ghee, red meat, pork, cheese, processed meats. Now, that doesn't mean that that's all someone following the keto diet is eating, because as you'll see, that diet shares many foods with both the Mediterranean diet and a whole foods plant-based diet. So keto shares seafood, olive oil, plant fats like nuts, seeds, and avocado, poultry and eggs, and non-starchy vegetables with the Mediterranean style diet. The Mediterranean style diet has been well researched for decades. We have a lot of good data about that way of eating, and actually the longest living populations in the world do follow a Mediterranean style diet. So what do they eat? Well, so they eat a variety of plants, but they also consume yogurt and cheese, which is mostly from goat and sheep, and grass-fed meats. However, those are typically in much smaller portions than what we consume in America, condiment-sized portions. And then Mediterranean diet is different from a whole foods plant-based diet because a whole foods plant-based diet does not allow any dairy and no animal products. And then depending on what expert you're talking to, they may or may not allow added oil. Now, the keto diet shares berries and coconut and avocado, no added sugar, non-starchy vegetables, nuts and seeds, and seed and nut oils with the whole foods plant-based diet. So lots of plants still when it's well planned, when it's a well-planned diet. And then a whole foods plant-based diet shares beans and whole grains, fruits, avocado, starchy vegetables, nuts and seeds, plant oils, but mostly olive oil with the Mediterranean diet. So I know this is a lot of information to look at, but what I really want you to hone in on is that middle part of the diagram right there. What do all of these diets have in common when they're well planned and they're emphasizing whole foods? Well, they emphasize more vegetables, more plant fats, and more fiber, and less fake foods, less dairy, and less sugar. Now, you might be wondering where paleo fits in. So paleo would be best placed between the ketogenic diet and the Mediterranean diet because it does include more fats, it is lower in carbohydrates. The only addition would be to pull in some starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes and regular potatoes, which are not included in that list right below it. But that is where pretty much where paleo fits in the best. No matter what dietary style you choose, if your focus is on more whole foods, more vegetables, more plant fats versus animal fats, and fiber, you're going to mitigate your risk for a lot of the chronic diseases that are prevalent around the world. And at the same time, less fake foods and processed foods that are so high in these unnecessary, rapidly absorbed carbohydrates, kind of your junk carbs. Start eating less dairy and less added and refined sugars, as well as carbohydrates. You'll start to see improvements in your health and in your weight, and finally start to feel better.